This is the Emergency Medical Minute, sponsored by Mile High Ambulance. The Emergency Medical Minute is excited to announce that we are now offering AMA, PRA, Category 1 credits via online course modules. To access these and for more information, visit our website at www.emergencymedicalminute.com/CME-courses, or simply click on the link in our show notes and create an account.
Welcome to your Sunday evening medical minute. All right, we're going to start with a story and then we'll play a little game show questions. All right, so the other day we had a patient who came in and there was a cute little baby raccoon in her backyard. And so they decided to take care of the baby raccoon. And they were taking water and putting it out in a bowl and giving it to the raccoon. And then sometimes the raccoon would touch the bowl and then they would take the bowl back. And then about 3 days, this was a mom and a daughter that were doing this. And then about 3 or 4 days into this, they thought, oh my gosh, we probably have rabies. We better go to the emergency department. So the question is, does this patient need rabies prophylaxis? No, why not? I'm kind of hearing some mumbling, no bites, anything like that. All right, so the answer is probably not, but maybe. So let's talk a little bit about what animals you have to be worried about and what animals you're not worried about. I love this simple language written for like a 2-year-old on the CDC website. Rabies affects only mammals. Mammals are warm-blooded animals with fur. People are also mammals. Birds, snakes, and fish are not mammals, so they can't give you rabies. And then it goes on like that. But anyway, there are some subtleties because sometimes people come in and they're like, well, I was bitten by a squirrel and that's a wild animal. Maybe that has rabies. I was bitten by a dog. Maybe that has rabies. So the official party line is every year in the U.S. there are only like 1 to 3 cases of rabies. So not very many cases of rabies. 1 to 3. How many people do you think we give rabies shots to prevent rabies or to make it so that we only have 1 to 3 cases? Thousands. 55,000 people a year, according to the CDC website, get rabies shots. So 90% of rabies come from wildlife. It is possible to get rabies from pets, including dogs and cats and even horses and livestock. But the main offenders are raccoons. Raccoons are cute, but they're kind of like cats. You think they're cute, and then they're actually evil. They're going to steal your soul. So the main offenders in terms of wildlife are raccoons, skunks, bats, and foxes. What about squirrels? Squirrels, are we worried about squirrels? All right, so squirrels, chipmunks, rats, mice, guinea pigs, gerbils, and hamsters almost never have rabies. And then lagomorphs, which is a good Scrabble word, meaning rabbits. Rabbits also do not have rabies. So what about dogs? Are we worried? If you're in Colorado and you go to the Cherry Creek State Park and the dog park and there's like an intimidating looking chihuahua that bites you on the leg, are you worried about rabies? No, generally no. So because of vaccinations, domestic pets, especially dogs, almost never have rabies in the U.S. And rabies shots are not indicated if you are bitten routinely by a dog. That's different if you live in a border state like Texas or Arizona because there's enough crossover from unvaccinated dogs down there. I can see we're busy, so I'm going to have to cut this short. But we're going back to our dangerous raccoon and should you have gotten a rabies shot. So it is theoretically possible without a bite to get rabies. There have been documented cases of people who were never aware of being bitten by a bat, but a bat was their only exposure and they have contracted rabies. It's felt that you either have a bite that you don't feel from a bat or even a scratch from a bat could give you rabies. And then theoretically, if you had an open wound on your hand, a scratch or a cut or a break in your knuckles, and that came in contact with saliva or brain tissue from an animal that had rabies, then you could get rabies. So maybe if that raccoon was like licking all over the bowl and you had cracked fingers, you could maybe get rabies. But in general, if you're feeding your friendly neighborhood raccoons, you don't need to get rabies shots. All right, that's it. Thanks. And prairie dogs carry plague.
The Emergency Medical Minute would like to thank our sponsor, Swedish Medical Center, for helping fund our nonprofit organization and make this podcast possible. Donations are essential to our organization to cover operational costs and fund the creation of our online courses offering AMA, PRA, Category 1 credits. So if you enjoy our show, and if you're able to make a one-time or recurring donation towards our organization, any amount is helpful. Please click the link in our show notes to make a donation. Thank you for listening.